It's a place so remote, there's more wildlife than humans.
There's one on a house here, 3 there, one on this lamppost. There's another one, and another. This is crazy.
The port town of Unalaska sits on the top of a massive underwater volcano. These volcanoes turned islands were once a part of Russia, but were purchased by the US in 1867.
And today, they're actually now home to the highest density of bald eagles seen anywhere on the planet. They are literally like giant pigeons. They are everywhere.
The eagles are taking up position on every prime bit of real estate in Unalaska. But why have they picked this town?
In the summer months, bald eagles will actually expand their territory into the Alaskan interior. But in the winter, they'll take refuge in places like Unalaska, because this is where the food is.
And when they're concentrated like this, it's a great time to film them.
Wow. God, when you see them soaring like that, you really appreciate their size, and that wingspan is as wide as I am tall. And they use those giant wings to be able to soar up on those thermals so elegantly. I think this one might actually be going in for a bit of a dive. Oh, this is the thing about bald eagles. You know, they're able to spot fish from, up to a kilometre up in the air with their incredible eyesight. And when they go onto that dive, tumbling through the air before going in with those giant talons. They're such supreme hunters. God, they are just incredible to watch. But like many of the animals that survive up here, with limited food to get them through the winter, these hunters have learned to take advantage of every opportunity that comes their way.
Fisheries biologist and local resident Brianna McGrath knows these seasonal visitors well.
When people think of the bald eagle, they think of this kind of majestic predator, but it's slightly different here. It's quite a unique town in that way, hey?
Yeah, so I would say that they're definitely supreme scavengers here in this town. We've had 1 or 2 in our ship supply here, our local supermarket.
In the supermarket?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thankfully not very often. And we've had them in like frozen warehouses, processing plants, into even our crab tanks. And I've actually had a few get caught inside of these crab pots.
Okay, they're literally everywhere.
Yes.
Okay.
But the crafty eagle's antics can get them in trouble. Brianna spends her spare time rescuing birds that get injured during their scavenging escapades.
They're quite a large and territorial bird. Do you have to be careful and aware of them?
Yeah, there's actually signs around town that says, beware eagles. They could be a pest to fishermen particularly. They hang out on the boats and on the docks and eat a bunch of their fish. This is one of the biggest fishing ports in the country, and eagles love fish.
Oh, wow. It's really strange, actually, seeing such a majestic and iconic bird literally the symbol of the United States, just scavenging here on this fishing vessel. But it makes sense, you know, in order to survive in these really hostile conditions, you have to be able to adapt and make the most of every opportunity, even those ones presented by humans. And this ability to adapt and be opportunistic is exactly what bald eagles do so well and why they thrive here on this frozen corner of the continent.
As I leave Unalaska, I notice it's not just the eagles that are depending on this town to help them through winter. Red foxes are also on the lookout for an easy feed, supplementing their hunts with anything they can scavenge off humans. Leaving the Aleutian Islands behind.